Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/rive to receive the top 10 stocks to buy right now. One of the most interesting moves of the last week was Dish Network jumping on the report that they're going to be working with Amazon to deploy a new telecommunications 5G network. Now, AT&T and Verizon actually dropped on that news as well. But if you dig a little bit further, Dish and Amazon have actually been working together for a couple of years now. So this is not really new, just another step in the 5G direction for these two. So I want to go through exactly what we know so far. No official announcements from either company, but what we know based on the reporting, and then how that might impact AT&T and Verizon specifically. These are two companies that I think we need to start being really worried about their debt loads and their rising dividend yields, which can actually be a warning sign for investors. But if they are able to grow cash flow, these could be phenomenal investments long term, given how sticky telecommunications is. So that's what I'm going to cover today. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Rive Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And I want to go straight to the Reuters report. What the Reuters and the Wall Street Journal are reporting is that basically Dish Network is going to use some of the assets that it's been acquiring in 5G spectrum to sell wireless services through Amazon. So basically Amazon becomes the sales channel and Dish Network is kind of the white label 5G provider in that instance. We don't know exactly what that looks like, but if we go back to a couple of announcements from the two companies since 2001, this came out in April 2021. So this is Dish and AWS form a strategic collaboration to reinvent 5G connectivity and innovation. So this is more than 2 years ago they were talking about this. And in this case, they were using AWS outposts and local AWS local zones to build out a network in the cloud, enabling customers to apply the breadth and depth of AWS capabilities to innovate low latency 5G application. Las Vegas was the first city, but this was a nationwide network that they were planning to deploy. Fast forward to 2022, and you see in February 2022, they were talking about deploying Dish's 5G network in AWS cloud. So another continuation of this. Now, obviously, any AWS and 5G solutions would likely be targeted mostly to businesses. Most consumers aren't going to interact directly with AWS. They would interact with whatever application is built on top of that. But it sounds like these two companies might be moving forward with a more consumer-facing application for this 5G network. And that'll be really interesting to see exactly what they announce and what impact it will have on the market. We know that AWS has a huge network, but keep in mind that the traditional wireless companies like AT&T and Verizon have spent tens of billions of dollars not only acquiring spectrum, but also building out the telecommunications equipment that it takes to run their 5G networks. So that's what a Dish and AWS partnership would be up against, is the reliability that we have come to count on from some of these big telecommunications companies. That isn't to say that this can't be disruptive. I think it absolutely could be, but we'll have to see exactly how big this network is and who it's going to serve. Because if you go outside of a city and suddenly your smartphone doesn't work, that's not going to be a great solution. It's also possible that they white label some of the capabilities that these legacy companies have, which is what a lot of wireless networks like Boost Mobile and other kind of small brands are actually not. They're not building their own networks, they're actually using things like AT&T and Verizon. So this is a potentially interesting partnership between Dish and AWS. I don't see any real downside for Dish because their business is under threat as it is, but it could potentially be a threat to AT&T and Verizon. So the thing that I'm going to keep an eye on is, are customers moving to a service like this? Is Amazon a draw for those customers? Or are these customers willing to pay a little bit more to maybe stay with the legacy companies because they're paying for that reliability? And on a related note, can AT&T and Verizon continue getting more connected devices? So vehicles, tablets, computers, these are all devices that are becoming more and more connected with a cellular connection, especially a 5G connection. Is a partnership like Dish and AWS able to peel off some of that potential growth? And even wireless broadband. I'm using Verizon wireless broadband right now. I've been using it for about a year. I think it works great, but if it was cheaper from AWS and I was a Prime member, that could be a compelling solution. So these are the kind of things to think about and look at going forward. Sounds like an announcement could be coming in June. And obviously about that same time, we're going to hear what second quarter numbers look like for AT&T and Verizon. So a lot going on in telecommunications right now, but this will absolutely be something to keep an eye on. What are your thoughts on Dish and Amazon working together? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to follow Rive Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.